for sure. Yo. It's gonna get freaky. Smooth and live for sure. Yo. Smooth and live for sure. Yo. It's gonna get freaky. Smooth and live for sure. Yo. Smooth and live for sure. Yo. It's gonna get.
Hey everybody, welcome to The Perfect Pair. I'm Tangerine.
I'm Marty.
Hey everybody, welcome to The Perfect Pair. I'm Tangerine.
I'm Marty.
And today we have an awesome show. We're going to talk about securing the bag and money moves. I like that. That was a song, wasn't it?
Was it?
Was
it?
I thought it was a song about money moves. So, I can't even think about it. So what we're going to do today, how are you today, Marty?
I'm cool. It's of course it rained on my side of town. By the time I got over here, it wasn't a drop of water in sight. So
she was like, yeah, you all don't have water over here. And I'm like, what? I drank water all last night. But I hope, was it, you know what, it was in the forecast to rain.
I saw, but now that I understand how the weather works, when they say it's gonna rain, I would just be like, oh well, 30% of this area gonna get rain. I didn't think I was gonna be in the 30%.
I hope I'm not in the 30%, but if I am, oh well, I have no plans, but I do have a run to make today. So that's it. Hopefully, my drive is fun. So that's about it. But today is about to be a good Sunday. I'm feeling good. I don't feel like really super hyped though.
Why?
I don't know. I feel just like real regular today.
This is a good day then.
But we'll see what these drinks do. Because we know what the drinks kick in.
This is a good day then.
Why you don't want me to be all extra hype and out of control?
You're the one that don't want you to be extra hype and out of control, but somehow you manage to get there.
I do. I figure it out. Somewhere. So let's get started with, y'all already know what it is. It's the shake and enjoy portion to get started.
And today we are going to have a limoncello time, and it is a gin cocktail. So it doesn't really require any shaking. So I added some thyme into the shaker here, and I'm just going to muddle that to get some of the juice out of the thyme. I'm sorry. And then I'm going to add the ingredients. It smells like Christmas tree, but that's not what's happening.
Christmas tree.
That's not what's happening here. So we got 2 ounces of gin.
And as we said before, gin is the best day drinking liquor. So yes. This may have me excited.
Just be even. Just be even. Just be even. We got
to happen a whole show.
We got company today. And
the company needs to know.
Just be even around here. Just be even, okay? So we got 2 ounces of that. We got a half ounce of lime juice, and because I just got this feeling that I need to take notes, y'all. I just got this feeling I need to take notes. I feel like I'm okay. But you always learn a little something that you could be doing or something you could alter. So we'll see how that goes. And then we're going to have 1 ounce of limoncello.
I like limoncello.
I do too.
I added it to some cognac one day.
You know what?
Lemonade.
You know what I like about you?
What?
You just see stuff on your bar and you start mixing it together. As for me, I need a whole recipe. I just can't go at it alone.
Once you figure out the taste that it gives, and a lot of times I don't have chasers in the house, but I don't drink straight liquor. So I have to figure out how to make stuff work.
See, I need a recipe. I need it to work. I need it to do what it's supposed to do.
That's just like with food. You do a recipe one time, and then you know how different stuff tastes, and just throw it in, and it's the whole.
Now a recipe, food, I can freestyle on a meal, but alcohol, no, I got to make sure stuff be going together. So yeah. So you just stir this up. You can already smell lemon and stuff in here. So I already garnished the glass and
I feel like I'm lathering up already. This is just
she's lathering up already, y'all. She's lathering up already. So let's see where the day take us. Well, that ain't right, is it?
No, that wasn't the right mixture. And remember, on the screen, if you would like to order your book, we have the QR code. This makes my day.
This makes
we have a QR code, and our intro makes my day.
Really?
Look at her adding with all the measuring.
Because I only need half of the order. I only need half. We only having one cocktail. Remember, man.
What did we say that today?
You don't remember? You don't remember?
You swear?
I'm not swearing. I'm here to protect all parties.
We need that
for all reasons that they have expressed on this here broadcast.
I understand, and I am so with it because we never know who may tune in, and we all want to make sure everybody is safe to go to their prospective career tomorrow without any issues.
Oh, mine ain't gonna be looking for me.
They might be like, "Oh, this is what this person does for a living."
Nah,
they do this on the side.
On the side.
Nah, we haven't. Oh, that got Twisted Lime. My parents had me drink some Twisted Lime before. They told me I need to start drinking like an adult. And we had like vodka with tonic water and Twisted Lime.
You ain't like it?
It didn't give me what I needed. It wasn't sweet.
Oh, yeah.
They're trying to get me not to drink sweet drinks and stuff. Now that I'm trying to really work out.
Okay. So.
All right.
Cheers. Yep, buddy. Yep, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. What's that song?
Hold on. Just hold on. I told you something. Who told you we gonna only have one drink? We gonna have one.
We gonna have one.
We gonna have one. We gonna have one.
Already starting.
We gonna have one.
Hey y'all, I'm back. This is what I needed. See, I had to just shake that little funk off that I had. Just shake it off. I was in the love funk.
Don't let her be. Don't let her fool you.
I was, but I'm good now.
Okay.
So anything else we need to know about Shaking the Joy now?
No, it's nothing else at the time. Feel free to order your book. If you would like any bar accessories, bar tools, feel free to reach out to shakingandjoy.com and purchase those there.
Yeah. I love it. Okay, so what's the next topic?
The next topic is the next segment of the show is the She's Pressed portion. And I feel like I left something in the kitchen that you needed.
What
was it? The nails?
Girl, it was, but it's okay. So this portion is about She's Pressed nails. So right now, what I have been doing a lot of is triple sets.
What is?
It's like people just order 3 sets at once. I mean, I love it. It's just the bomb and just doing all different stuff. And it seems like the thing has been 2 sets off my website and 1 custom order. And I like doing custom order because sometimes it takes me out of my little box, my little shell. So if you have not ordered your She's Pressed nails, you can go on the QR code.
Look at you.
And you can order them. So yes, that's really it. That's going with She's Pressed. Somebody mentioned something for me to start looking into doing.
What was it?
I do not remember, girl.
It's cool.
So
it'll come to her.
It will, because I am going to get back super focused on it in like a month and a half because school will be over. Well, really 2 months school is over. But it's starting to trickle down, and now I can focus on it. This has been an interesting school year. If anybody got kids or working in school, so we just
look. No,
we just making it through this year.
No.
I
nobody got no kids.
Tange love the kids, so we just go keep saying that. And yes, but I will be back to creating stuff shortly.
Okay.
So now everything is on the website unless you send in a custom order.
Okay.
And then I always experiment on myself. So this is the first time I'm wearing short round nails. And I like them because I can really type. They look natural, but it seems like I hit the nails more because I don't realize that they're there. Then when I have long nails, because it's like when you wear super long nails, you know you have them on, so you're being very careful.
Yes.
These, I'm just like, they part of my hands.
They part of your hands.
They are. But I love them, and they haven't fallen off except the, I always take off my thumbnail. It's like my thumb has to be free. I don't know. Remember I had the long set for Egypt?
Yeah.
And they were like, why are all 9 of your nails long, but your thumb is short? I'm like, because I need to do stuff with my thumb. You have to have like one free nail. That's my craziness. I don't know if anybody else has crazy stuff like that with their nails.
I got all my nails.
But it's either that or my index finger. So I just figure it looks better with the thumb short.
Oh, okay then.
In my mind.
All right.
It allows me to open stuff. It allows me, like, if I got something in my eye, gotta take my contact out, gotta clean my contact. I just need one free nail.
I don't have all them extra. I don't have them extra pieces to my life. So.
Oh, something on my neck is on this computer.
Oh.
So that is all that's going on with me. So let's move on. What's the next part?
It's the what's popping. So I'm gonna tell you, I don't have no current events. The only current events I have right now is that Lowe's does an awesome job at delivering house materials when you doing things in the house.
What'd you get
contractors, tile. Contractor, the kitchen. Contractors are, if you don't get everything out of them when they come to the house, it's a done deal. It's a done deal. Like, they just go off and start doing their own things, and then they got to tell you about getting back on the schedule. And at this point, it don't even matter no more. Just don't come back by here. So yeah, that's all I've been doing lately.
And you know what? You inspire me. When I see you doing stuff to your house, it makes me want to do stuff to this house.
Listen.
It does, because she just looks like she has it all together. She reminds me of the women that's on TikTok that's just like building a whole house from scratch. And I'm like, here I am, helpless. Can't even, I don't know. I can't do anything. My shower, the handle is dripping.
Listen, see, and what I would do is, if my shower handle was doing whatever, I would go to the original TikTok. I'm still an original TikTok fan. YouTube. I would go to YouTube. Once you do 3 YouTube videos, you pretty much got it. You pretty much got it if you can trust yourself with the tools or whatever. So yeah, that's what I do. But I appreciate you. I appreciate that you're inspired by me, but I think you gotta understand. I think what y'all gotta understand is I love being at home.
I do too.
I love being at home, so I do my very best to make sure that my home is everything that I need it to be. So if something don't look right, I'm not gonna sit in there with it. I'm gonna fix it. So, I can be comfortable.
My fear is that I'm gonna make a bigger mess than what's there. So I'm thinking, if I take off my shower handle and try to fix it, then it's going to be a big debacle. My water's going to run for days. It's going to be everywhere in the house. And then I got to do my whole bathroom over.
Well, don't do it. Don't try it.
So, like, my uncle is a plumber, but he gets busy. When you the niece and,
Don't try it.
But I am going to call him.
Don't try it then. Don't try to do it yourself then.
I'm gonna do small stuff myself.
I have a whole thing. I have a whole thing. Like, once I do a project, I have to clean up after and everything. I can't move on until
I'm a damsel in distress.
I need to work on that. My damsel in distress not that strong. I got it.
She will be dripping. Do y'all hear me?
My damsel in distress is weak. It's weak. So,
I am okay with it. So I do have one. And this time my heart was not hurt. I was not affected by it, which was good. It is rumored that 50 Cent has proposed to his longtime girlfriend, Cuban Links, because she had a big ring on. And prior to, I know you're looking crazy, but back in the day, I used to be like so in love with 50. And he was supposed to be mine. And when I saw him with Vivica Fox on the red carpet at the MTV Music Awards, I got so hurt. I was in Florida and my heart dropped while we watched this on vacation. And so I've never really liked him since then.
So when you say he was supposed to be yours,
I was supposed to meet him. I went to his concert. I was ready. I told my parents, like, oh, it's gonna be your son-in-law, it's gonna be my baby daddy. I was ready to meet 50 Cent. I was ready to throw all the morals and self-respect out the window. No.
Oh,
you never.
Oh Lord. That's not a thing. That's not a thing.
It was back in the day. Nobody's coming over your house and mop. LB, did you make a mistake on something?
Nobody's coming to mop. Nobody's coming to mop anyway.
So it's reportedly engaged. So it's exciting.
That's
though.
nice.
It is.
That's
I'm
nice.
not in love with them, so it's okay.
Why is it that I don't have? I feel like it's so much. Oh, the two state representatives were reinstated in Tennessee.
Why do they just sound like preachers every time they talk? Well, let us talk about how.
Stop it! It was good.
If the law says that I
appreciate
my constituents,
I appreciate it. I appreciate it every minute.
And if Sir Reverend Chairman, if you don't allow me to speak when I am coming here to fight for my people, then Sir Chairman, Statute 185.7 says that I am here and I can speak and I have a right. You won't give me the mic. I'll bring a born.
The nerve.
I'm with him. I'm like, yes, brother. How can I vote for you? Can I donate to your fund? Yes, sir. Because I am inspired. Because together we can make it through. We gotta stick together. You and me and you.
Bye. I am done.
It's limoncello time.
I'm done.
She's back.
I am done. I'm absolutely done. I'm done. That was the only thing I had. And it just got turned into a partial sermon on Sunday.
But that's how they sound when they're talking. It's kind of extra, but that's how they sound. And they one of the guys was the one with the afro. That's not Jones. That's Pearson.
Yes.
I didn't kind of like Teslo Figaro or something like that. She kept questioning him on the radio show, and she was like, okay, so I mean, what else you doing besides the afro and the dashiki and everything? Like, the questioning, it was kind of rough. But, I mean, I guess that sells. He answered, so I'm glad they're there, but I couldn't listen to like a whole day of the sermon nation of the speakage. I could not do that.
I listened and I liked it. I don't know. It was just
Albie said
it was a sound argument, a sound presentation of thought. So I liked it.
They said his accent is fake.
Oh God! Please don't let that come out. Jeez,
this water is everything,
isn't it?
Oh my God!
I don't know. I was just saying the same thing.
It's like the best in the world.
Okay, so that's
that. Jamie Foxx is in the hospital.
What for?
So they never really said it had come out that he may have had an aneurysm, but then the family came out and said that he's coming to, he's speaking again, he thanks everybody. So they never really said or confirmed 100% why he's in the hospital. They just know he's in the hospital. And what's his name? Dan Lathan had did like a post on one of the social media platforms and was like, share your best stories of Jamie Foxx, like give him his roses now. And everybody was just commenting. And one story that I did read, he went to a restaurant like 30 minutes before it closed or 10 minutes before it closed and ordered like $300 worth of food. And he knew everybody was upset. So everybody that was working, he gave a $10,000 tip. How about that? He get a $10,000 tip. But I think that's all I have about what's popping.
What's going on in the world. I know. And forgive us. I know it's some more going on, but
Those the
Between
top
sawdust and not causing an electrical fire in my home.
I'm personal. I had the first start of the summer pull-ups yesterday. So anybody that don't know, during the spring, summer, I like to stay at home a lot, and I like to host company or just have company. And I had a couple people pull up. This it's like the pull up on me, and we sit on the porch or the backyard, and we just had a good time. So I did have a good time yesterday.
Okay.
So yeah, it's perfect. It was a perfect day.
It was a perfect day
to have company outside.
All right.
So yeah, so I say, because I'm ready to make some money moves. Are you ready for our topic?
I'm ready for the topic. I'm ready, and I'm kind of eager about it because if I find out that I'm doing everything I could possibly be doing, and it ain't yielding what I needed to yield, I'm probably gonna slide under this table.
And then
I'm probably gonna slide under this table.
How to yield the most? Like people talk about like 3.5%. I'm trying to yield like 92%. Like when you invest over like 5 years, 3.5%. That doesn't sound like a lot of money. I'm trying to get like 80%, 90%.
Well, okay, yeah, let's bring on the professional because that number didn't quite seem real to me.
Hello.
So
hey,
joining us today we have Emmanuel. Hold on, because I wrote my notes. I wrote my notes. We have Emmanuel.
First of all, can y'all hear me okay?
Yes.
Right,
We have Emmanuel Jones II coming to you from Jones and Company Wealth Company. Yes, Jones and Company.
We might be related.
So he's here with us. He is one of Atlanta's top financial advisors and the founder of the Wealth Management Company. So without further ado, we give you Emmanuel Jones here to help us. Because if I'm falling short somewhere, Emmanuel, I'm going to slide under this table.
We ready, Emmanuel.
I got it. A pleasure to be here. Thank you. I'm honored and pleasure to meet you ladies, each one of y'all.
Thank you.
So I did not know that we were drinking at the beginning of it though, because I would have poured me a little something like to get this started. You know, no one told me to have that on deck. They just told me to come and talk.
I apologize to that. As the mixer here, I apologize to that.
But then again, as she's apologizing now, I'm quite offended because that means you have not watched the show and see how we operate, Mr. Emmanuel Jones.
I am new, but I am intrigued.
He is new.
So far, I am intrigued. That was hilarious.
We are intriguing.
So listen, I smooth slid into Mr. Emmanuel's DMs. So if you ever hear of me sliding in somebody's DM, it's strictly professional, gang. It's strictly professional. But I've started following him on social media, and I just like the content that he was presenting. And I asked him to come, and here he is. So I say we get involved in some of the discussion and see what exactly we are doing or can be doing to help us get where we need to be.
Okay.
Got a question first?
So can you tell us about your company and what is it that you do?
Sure, absolutely. So the name of my company is Jones & Co. Wealth Management or Wealth Strategies or Financial. Within my company, I'm a full-fledged financial advisor. So when I talk to people about their money, their situation, anything like that, I can do a holistic plan. Basically, people come with whatever idea that they have that they want to do. Some people are in a position where they say, hey, you know, I'm making money. I don't know how to invest it. Or I'm investing money, but I'm not investing in the right places. Or just whole family planning. Because at the end of the day, investing is just one piece of it. When it comes down to holistic financial planning, you got to think about what's that money going to do when you get older? How are you going to fund your children and your kids for their endeavors? You know, going to school or not going to school, you know, whatever they decide to do as they get older, we have to put plans in place for that. And just seeing the power of compounding interest, which I think is something that us as African Americans have not seen. So like you were talking about 3.5%, like, that doesn't sound like a lot. But if you take a little bit of money and put it to the side and get 3.5% over the course of 20 years and just let that sit, that money will triple, almost quadruple right there. And it will be probably completely safe. because that rate is considered a safe rate. That means it's guaranteed. That outside returns, getting more money. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. You said completely safe. So because it's not fluctuating with the market, is guaranteed
because it's low, to be honest. So when it comes down to it, it's a scale. If you want stable average returns where it's like I don't have to worry about the market going up and down and things like that, there's things you can invest in to get that lower rate of return, but it's going to be guaranteed. You don't have to worry about, oh, the market dropped 20%. That doesn't affect you. You're invested in the different things. That's good for people who want money in a safe spot, like a money managed or like a money market account or something like that. It's also good for retirees, people who are getting to the point where it's like, okay, I accumulated this little nest egg. I want to make sure my nest egg doesn't just drop 20% and I have to die earlier because I can't afford to keep myself. Literally, that's what happened in 2008. People were like, oh,
that's what happened last year.
It's like 70 because we dropped. It's important at certain points in your time that you take the appropriate risk for what your plans are and what your goals are, and understand what those risks are on the high side and the low side. I think a lot of people, there was something about this where they were saying 35 and older is like what the target market I'm talking to, or like what to do with your money at 35. Yes. So a 35-year-old over the last 10 years, so right with a point where they probably much just got into like the world of working and stuff like that, they just rode a wave where everything was going up. Everything was going up into 2002. They thought they were experts because like I invested, I made money. Look at me. I'm gonna start a YouTube video channel to tell you how I made money on investing. Right. No training whatsoever. Everything's going up. If you bought yourself like, I'm not going to curse, but if you bought yourself just like one little piece of whatever, it'll be worth two pieces of whatever by the time, a couple of years pass in that time. But 2022 was a reckoning when it came down to the bullish cryptocurrency market, yes, the stock market. And if you didn't have that foundational knowledge or understanding about those markets, it could have rocked you a lot. But if you do, then you understand that you can kind of ride this wave, and certain things you could have done to prevent the slide and things that you have to be conscious of. But all in all, my practice and my clients, we go through every little step of where your money goes. We're considered kind of like the quarterback of your financial life. So whether your job is, I am an entrepreneur, I have my own businesses, several businesses, I make money this way, that way, and that way. We're going to take that, coordinate and make sure that your money is making you money and that you're doing it in the most tax efficient way. That's the biggest thing, because if you're not, your IRS is going to come knocking at some point in time, and you don't want to be caught with your pants down. So that's what we do to kind of help analyze that. We work with your CPA, work with your attorneys that you have that work for you and stuff in order to make sure all that's in place and make sure you understand what you're doing and how you're doing it. So I work with a bunch of entrepreneurs and small business owners in that aspect. So that is a very common thing that comes up. And then I have my corporate folks. Where their corporation instilled a lot of different financial tools for them to use, such as 401ks or health saving plans and things like that. That just come straight out the check, and they don't even realize it. After about 6 months, they forget that it's even coming out. They're just used to the money that's going into the account. Mm-hmm. That is such a brilliant way to save money, that if people do not have that corporate structure, they have to get themselves in that own mindset on their own. And that's what I help a lot of people do. Otherwise, you're just going to keep all your money in your business. You're not breaking off little pieces to increase your actual worth. So those are very important tips and things that I tell people to kind of shift their mindset to make sure that you're setting yourself up. I know so many people, and real estate game is huge here in Atlanta. And where are you guys based, by the way? Y'all based in
Detroit.
We're from the D. Okay.
Why you say that?
RDMF.
Oh gosh.
Nah, that's what's up. But here in Atlanta, the real estate market is bustling. I heard Detroit's about to start a little bubble of their own too. So a lot of opportunities coming up that way. Detroit, Baltimore, Chicago, some of those big old port cities. Yeah. I have a real estate investment company that started a few years prior to this one. So we're looking up there. But real estate people in real estate, those are some of my hardest clients, because they think I make money and I circulate it straight through real estate. What am I going to do? I'm going to buy myself some more real estate. If I make this lump sum money, I'm going to invest that right into real estate. They become cash heavy, cash poor real quick, and it just fluctuates in that dynamic. The important thing for people who are kind of making moves like that in real estate, because it's very easy for someone to have a good year, sell a couple of properties, make $500,000 and things like that. But more than likely, their only thoughts are, I'm going to put it into some more real estate and go cash poor again. You have to break off however you earn your money, legally. Disclaimer, I have to say legally. Good. However it comes, as long as it looks legal. But however you earn your money, portions of that needs to be broken off and put into long-term investing. Because if you can take advantage and have the patience for some of your money to grow long-term, there's ways we can make that money grow without ever having to pay another dollar in taxes again. And you know, in real estate, they're going to come with you for some taxes if you don't move that money.
Okay, stop. You said put your money away so you won't have to worry about taxes? Like worry about paying them, or?
So after you pay your taxes, money's going to be taxed at some point in time. My goal is to make sure it gets taxed as little as possible and as less times as possible. If you're investing in real estate, or if you're investing in just your company, you're making money and stuff like that. The money you take, you pour into your company, you put your hard work behind it. So you're hopefully getting a nice outsized return on it, but that money's going to be taxed. It's going to be taxed, and money's going to constantly be taxed. Now, if you want, and if you're at a position in your company where like now we're kind of trending, we're doing well, and I have this excess income or this excess money sitting to the side, that's where we take that money and we start putting in passive vehicles, and we put it in passive investment vehicles so that you don't have to be taxed on it again. The most famous one that a lot of people know are Roth IRAs. Roth IRAs are a long-term investment vehicle. The money that goes into it has been taxed already. And as it's sitting in the market, if it's sitting in the market on the aggressive side, it may get a rate of return 20, 30%, maybe 10%. It might go down 15%, might go up another 7%. It's going to be right in that wave in the market. But Roth IRAs are vehicles for long-term investing up to age 59 and a half. And it doesn't have to be a large lump sum of your money. Just a small portion goes into your Roth IRA, and you will never have to pay taxes. That money's going to flip on top of each other, on each other, like over and over and over, to the point where you'll look up and be like, man, I invested $100,000 over the course of 10 years in my Roth IRA. Well, 15 years in my Roth IRA, because the limit's $6,000. That's all you can put into it. And I'm looking at about $500,000 sitting in the bad boy. Those are things that are very, very, very possible to happen in a Roth IRA. And like, because it wasn't a lot of money you put into the side, I still have my business. I still have money sitting over here. I still have my properties. I still have things turning. I still got my rent coming in. But I also have this tax-free money sitting over here. I'm not going to be mad at that. So diversifying the ways that you put your money and invest your money in different avenues is so key and so important to take advantage of everything that the United States government allows you to do. Because best believe people who do not look like us are, and they have been for a very long time.
That is so true.
That's true. We have a few questions from the audience here. They want to know, what are your thoughts on crypto? Will it really replace cash?
Crypto won't replace cash, not in your lifetime or my lifetime or anybody's lifetime. Crypto is too volatile to replace cash. If you walk into some place and it's a chair, that chair is just a chair. And if I'm paying with the cryptocurrency, one day it might be worth a quarter of a Bitcoin, another day might be worth half a Bitcoin, another day might be worth 1/5 of a Bitcoin. It is too volatile in order to be currency, but it's used more as like in a forex sense of just trading it at like a security. Now, I will caution, I don't recommend crypto to my clients, not saying that I disagree with it completely, but as a financial professional, the places where I put my clients' money, because I'm dealing with clients who are just starting out investing, never invested before, finally got on their feet, got a little bit of money. I'm dealing with that lane, all the way to people who have generational money or have a business that's just been shooting up the ground. They don't know what to do with these hundreds of thousands that's just accumulating. I deal with the whole range. Where I put my clients' money and where it's positioned, that money is going to be in something that is insured. So I'm sure you heard of the banks that collapse, SVB Bank and things like that. That was that money right there was insured by the FDIC. So all the people who had money in that bank, the United States government said, okay, that bank is illiquid. It cannot give you your money. We're going to come in and we're going to make sure you're whole. Now, when you invest, you actually have the same thing. It's called SBIC. And that money is going to be invested, like you take a mutual fund, for instance, you invest your money into a mutual fund upwards to about $500,000. Now, that's not saying it keeps the money from going up and down, because you are taking on risk when you're investing in a mutual fund. But that money, if something happened to that firm you're investing in and it just goes away, that money is going to be insured, where they're going to make sure you're made whole based off what your last balance was in that account.
Okay.
So those are different reasons why we do different type of investments in that lane. Cryptocurrencies, there's no exchange that is insured like that. So it's super risky. People with real wealth, they do understand there could be a risk of a company going out of business and their money get tied up for years until they actually get to the litigations and the liquidation to actually get their assets.
Okay. No, go ahead.
Go ahead. So when you were talking about investing and you were saying people have their business, let's say you have a career and you have a business where you ventured out. Do you invest money from your career or from your business, or both?
Both. Depends on what your bills are and what your expenses are. But there's a rule of thumb about how much money you should have that's not invested. First, you have your checking and savings account. Within your savings account, and hopefully it's a high yield savings account, you should have maybe about 6 to a year's worth of your expenses. Now that varies because it just depends on your lifestyle. Do you have kids that random big expenses could come up and things like that? Do you have big travel plans where your expenses might be a little bit more because I spent $10,000 on a trip to wherever every now and then and stuff like that? Whatever that amount is, that's the amount you should have sitting in like just a savings account. Anything above that amount should all be invested. Every last bit of it should be invested.
Wait a minute.
Now,
that's where. I'm about to slide under this table because that's what it is.
That sounds like a lot of money being invested.
Exactly, and that's the point.
But
that's
it's going to give you a return.
When you invest money, not all your investments have to be on the same risk level. Like, we're not talking about investing like you would in cryptocurrency, where it's like, okay, one day it could be up 5%, next day it could be down 10%. That is too volatile. You set your money at the risk level that you're comfortable with. So if you're comfortable with a 5 or 6% return, then we have vehicles for that, because that's going to be a little more stable. If you want your money shooting for the moon, then we're going to be in more aggressive stocks and things like that. But your money should never stay stagnant. That's like your money living rent free. It's like having a grown kid in your house that pays no rent, just eats your food, because that's what money does.
And that's what money does. Have one of those.
That's inflation. If your money is sitting in a bank account getting nothing done on it, and inflation is at 8%, your money dropped 8%. And because it's not doing anything where it's working, it's living rent free. It's not doing anything. It's not adding to your livelihood. Let me give you an example. I'm going to relate money to kids. Any of you have kids?
I do.
You do have kids?
He's 24.
24. Okay. So you probably can relate to this, and some of your followers might be able to. So if you have when you have a kid and it's a newborn, and imagine a kid newborn, that's the beginning of your investment journey. That newborn can't really do much for you whatsoever. You have to take care of it. You have to nurture it. You have to feed it. You have to burp it. You have to grow it up until it gets to a point where it can walk on its own, can talk on its own. So when your money gets to that point, it's like, okay, we're doing a little something with our investing. First time when you start investing, that money ain't going to do much for you. The return on $1,000 ain't going to be that crazy. It's not going to set you financially free. But the more you pour into it, the more you grow it, the stronger it's going to get. Your kid becomes a teenager, still needs your help. You still have to pour into that child, but that child is able to cook, do some chores, eat on their own, and occasionally they might actually take some load off of your back. When your money hits that teenager level, the investment and the return from your money at that point in time, able to do a little bit more for you. My return can maybe pay for my vacations. Maybe it's paying my car note. I look at my account. It was at 100,000. Now it's at 115,000. That 15,000 ain't pocket change. I can do a little something with that. It ain't going to set me free, but I can do a little something with that. Now let's fast forward and get to your money being to the point where let's fast forward your children. When your children get to the point where they have to take care of you. When you are old, when you are gray, because you poured so much into this child, they grew up to be outstanding people. They got married, built a family, and now they are able to bring you into their house and say, you don't really have to worry about nothing, mama. Like, you're taken care of. That's your money. After you pour into it over years and grow it up and have that mentality, your money will be taking care of you. The interest on your money is going to be what's paying all your bills. Your principal won't even be going down unless it's a big emergency or something like that. That's the financially freedom. That's financially free. That's where I want to get people to get the mindset into, because if you start now, especially if you're like 35, you have to think longer term. I'm not saying devoid yourself of all pleasures and just put all money into an account and just like say forget about it, but have your long-term bucket, have your medium-term bucket, and have your short-term bucket. Those are all going to be places where you can pour money. And that medium-term bucket is probably a famous topic that people have heard over the last few years is life insurance.
Yes.
But certain type of life insurance and how the cash value in life insurance actually can grow and take care of you.
Now, I'm glad you started with this life insurance because that was definitely the question that I had here. Is there a optimal life insurance that we should be looking at right now, or should we just be riding the ones that our employers give us? Like, what should we be doing?
So your employer's life insurance is a good gift from your employer, but it's nothing to do with anything that's positive about life insurance. Besides, if you pass away, they pay the money out.
Right.
A lot of people, when they think of life insurance, is okay, it's for a generation after me. And I'll be honest, our generation, we are a tad bit selfish. So it's like, I really care about them that much. You know what I mean? Okay.
Y'all gonna have a fish fry to bury
really care about them that much. I mean, I'm good. I mean, they could bury me what's in my checking account. Like, I'm good. I can talk about how wrong that mentality is and how it's keeping us from actually having a lot of wealth in our community and stuff like that. But I'm going to focus in on the investment side of life insurance. Okay. So you have a couple of different life insurance policy. A term policy is something that a lot of us get sold. Term policies is like renting life insurance for a period of time. It's very cheap because the chances of you actually dying in 20 years is very low, to be honest. So they can make the rates very low. Doesn't build any cash value. It doesn't add to any wealth, and it doesn't really get counted for any type of asset on your balance sheet while you're alive. But someone will get paid when you do pass away. Term insurance is good for people who have a lot of assets that will need to get paid off when you pass away. So if you have a business with debt, if you have a big old mortgage, if you are married and you have small kids and y'all 2-income household, and that income, if it just disappeared, would be a big deal. Term insurance can take care of that period of time while it is very important I need $3 million. If I pass away as much as I'm worth over the next 10 years or 15 years or however old or young your kids are, I'm going to need this much money to replace me. Right. As income wise. So like, that's why I need such a big policy right now. And I can maybe taper it down the older I get when the kids get grown and things like that. Mortgage gets paid down and like, there's not as much debt. So term insurance handles obligations if you were removed from the picture. Okay. That's traditional. That's the traditional normal sense of thinking of life insurance. Okay. Now let's talk about whole life. Whole life insurance used to be the only type of insurance there was. Whole life policies also used to be retirement supplement plans back in like the 1920s and things like that for people. Meaning they got their whole life policy when they were younger, paid into it. It built up cash value throughout their entire life. So to the point where they retired, not only did they have their Social Security, maybe a pension, but they also had, $200,000 sitting in their whole life policy that they can literally borrow from tax-free and use that money to live off of. And they can dwindle their policy down to nothing by the time they hit age 90 with just enough to bury you and you lived a good life. And that life insurance did not serve to make someone wealthy. It served to be a tax-free vehicle for you to have safe money and protected. Life insurance money can grow tax deferred if it's in the policy. So as it gets that interest added to it or dividends added to it from the insurance company, that does not get taxed. Life insurance money can be loaned from tax-free. So you can loan from your policy and the cash value of it, If you got a $200,000 policy, you just start paying into, you cannot loan off your $200,000. No, you can loan off the cash value that grows up in it. But the cash value more than likely will grow past that $200,000 in the long run as you're just paying your premiums and things like that. So you can do that. Cash value money is protected from creditors. If any one of your companies go bankrupt or someone tries to sue you, they cannot attack the cash value within your life insurance policy. In a lot of states, the cash value of your life insurance policy is protected from divorces. So if you got divorced and the policy is owned by you and in your name, that cash value just goes to you or stays in the policy if you don't liquidate the policy. So in some states it does, some states it doesn't. So those are other things to kind of keep in mind there. So it's a strong investment tool to just circulate wealth and keep it out of the hands of the United States government, IRS, and then creditors and debitors. Yeah. Questions about that?
Yes. So, and then I'm gonna go to Albie, one of our guests. So, when you talk about insurance, so let's say I don't have any kids. Do I need a separate policy, or should I just do what my job gives me because I don't need to leave anybody anything. It's just me.
So if you follow me on the second part, when it comes down to whole life and also variable universal life. So let me explain variable universal life. I'm gonna circle back on whole life, bring it together, and tell you why it's super important for you to have life insurance for yourself, but even without beneficiaries. Variable universal life insurance policy is probably the least known life insurance policy that's out there, but one of the most powerful ones. Because a variable universal life insurance policy has the same tax designation as a Roth IRA. And if you make over $140,000, you cannot qualify for a Roth IRA. If you want to access your money before you're 60 years old, do not put your money in a Roth IRA. So for people who want to invest, get the tax benefits, but want to access their money, say when they're 45, 50, 30, depending on how old they are, they would do it into a VUL, a variable universal life VUL. They would do it into that policy. So the premiums go into that policy, and portions of that premium gets invested in some of the top mutual funds in the country. I do it through New York Life. So when I do it through New York Life, we are connected to some of the top mutual fund companies in the entire country. We have Goldman Sachs, we have BlackRock, we have Fidelity, we have Vanguard funds. We have all these different type of mutual funds that you probably heard of if you worked any corporate or stuff like that, all within the company that you can invest in with your life insurance. So when the market is doing really well, like it did in 2020 or 2021, and you're seeing 20% return, 25% return, you're getting that return in a life insurance policy that never has to be taxed. Money you can actually access a lot sooner than a retirement account, such as an IRA. So why is that important? If you do not have to pay taxes on your gains, that saves you probably 25% of the gains at minimum. So if you want to invest in just a regular taxable brokerage account and you want your money to grow from, say you paid in $200,000, you're looking up, it's $400,000. You got $200,000 more on top of the money that you put in. Yeah, you did a good job. Uncle Sam's going to need 30% of that.
Right.
So anytime you start touching your money, Uncle Sam's going to need his piece. You and Uncle Sam are buddies. Y'all go out on the weekends, man. Y'all go golfing.
I don't even like him like that.
Y'all buddies, y'all tight, y'all cool. Y'all dab each other up when you go pay your taxes and stuff like that. You're tight with Uncle Sam. That's your choice. If you do it through something like a variable universal life policy, as that money grows in that account, say $200,000, grows up to $400,000. That $400,000 is your $400,000. That's the power of having it. And when you retire or you want to start living off your hard-earned money, you can spend that thing down to maybe up to about 5% left in that whole account. That's why you should do it for yourself. If you want to live a nice life and kind of preserve your money and your wealth, a variable universal life policy would do that for you. Don't have kids, not worry about anybody but yourself. I got you. I got the selfish policy problem.
So if I already have a Roth IRA, should I still keep it?
Do you max it out?
No, not yet.
Do you want to wait till you're 60 to
No, I keep saying I'm about to start maxing it out July 1st.
I feel you. Do you want to wait till 60 to start accessing any of your money in that account?
No, but I guess in my mind I've always thought that I've had to wait. I never knew that I could access money prior to the retirement age.
When it comes down to investing, it's not an and or. Sometimes it's both.
Oh wow.
Yeah, sometimes it's both. I want some of my money designated for my 60 plus years. Some of my money designated to my next 10 years.
Yes, that's me.
Right now.
So I can retire at 53. I'm trying to retire real soon. 10 years. No, I gotta wait 12 years.
Well, then we put a plan together to make that happen. And depending on what age you are.
I feel like that's what my financial journey has missed. Someone outside of myself to make the plan. Like I got the plan for this year. And I had the plan for last year.
We're year to year with these plans. Wow.
What's the 5 year? What's the 5 year? What's the 10 year? What's the 15-year plan?
I just was like, oh my God, I can't think that far
I was just waiting on the Facebook quiz to help me with that part. I was just gonna use those and use it as a guide.
So let me ask some questions. Albie said, and just know, Damar, we haven't ignored any of your questions. We had just forgot to answer them. They were when you were talking. Okay. He asked two questions. What are your thoughts on countries pulling away from the US dollar And can you recommend a life insurance for a person with a heart condition because he got denied and was only offered accidental death?
First question, countries pull away from the US dollar. It's not the first time, won't be the last time. There's a lot of noise to distract you from your personal financial journey. And your long-term that's what news is. That's what news is. When it comes down to it, it's not going to affect you. I mean, unless you literally invested in the dollar, like in Forex, and it's going down, then yeah, you should probably pull out the dollar because it's going to be valueless. But the US is not getting rid of the dollar. That's not happening. It's happening anytime soon.
People gonna stop dealing with the US. Like right now, we acting stupid, but I don't know. I just can't see that.
They have to deal with the US in several different capacities. No one's going to ignore the US or get rid of the US. This is literally things that we've lived through in a lot of different ways, but the media is so quick and it's so hype and so in our face so much that we just take it on. So when it comes down to your personal financial journey, if you are concerned about those things, we'll talk to a financial advisor, get guided through it, because we get more information, more real time, and we'll know how to react for our clients. And if we're not over here panicking and stuff like that, you don't. Life insurance. So when it comes down to being denied for life insurance, there's a system where every company can see why you were denied for the life insurance. If you go to a different company, you will want to get a letter sent to the company, life insurance company that you got denied from, and tell them to send their rationale, their reason for denial to your physician, and see what you can do after your heart condition is how you can improve to be able to go reapply again. They would be able to send over those details. But no, I don't know any companies that just like will handle high risk cases and things like that. You could probably talk to like a independent insurance broker. I'm not a life insurance broker. I have life insurance licenses. I can do life insurance, but I'm a financial advisor when it comes down to everything. So I handle all of your stuff. I'm answering questions on everything from how much money you got into the bank, how much money you want to have when you retire, how much investments you have, how much cash you have, and all of that good stuff, all the way down to, do you have life insurance? Do you have disability insurance? And those type of protections. It's all about protecting assets over here.
So with you being in Atlanta, if people wanted to contact you, and I did put up your website, do you help people all around? As you know, our base is primarily Detroit. So if they wanted information and to work with you, you'll work with people in other states?
Yeah, I'm licensed in about 26 states.
Talk about that. Yes. Is Michigan one of those states?
Michigan is one of those states.
Okay.
And if there's any state that I'm not licensed in, then I can get licensed within about 2 days. The license that we take and the exams that we take over are they're stored underneath the SEC and FINRA, so they're stored on a federal database. So I can just go to the state, let them know who I am, and say I'm doing business in your state. They're going to say, okay, you're good, and that's how that goes.
Okay, so when we're investing, do you suggest we max out? Like, it could be, it's a yearly amount. If we have it, we max out at that, because some of us, at least with me at times, I thought about like, YOLO, I don't want to invest all my money and then I have less to play with or travel with to do this kind of stuff with.
Mm-hmm. So I recommend people be on an automatic investment schedule. So just have small bits trickled into it. And then the way I deal with my clients, so I'm going to explain this real quick and then finish answering your question. But there's 2 ways that a financial advisor can engage with you. One, like me. One way is when we are paid a financial planning fee. And when we paid that fee, we basically upfront, you got me for the whole year. We're meeting at minimum quarterly and things like that. There's other ways that we can engage where if we're talking to a client and realize you may need, say you need a certain type of life insurance. Say you're really, really attracted to like the VUL that we just talked about and you wanted that for yourself. We can just go ahead and do that for you without having us on retainer and stuff like that. Okay. So when it comes down to it, on a regular basis, a VUL will put you into investing on a regular basis anyways, because it's life insurance and it's going to be coming out monthly. But when it comes down to just trickling money into your funds and things like that on a regular basis, on a quarterly basis, we will meet. And if I start seeing your cash is trickling up a little too high, past that threshold of like, 6 to a year's worth of savings sitting in your actual checking account, we're going to do what's called lump sum transfers. Like we're going to take a lump sum, we're going to transfer it. And we're probably going to transfer it into a short-term investment vehicle. So it won't be out your reach. It will be literally one call away and be back in your bank account. But you don't need it to be because you're making too much money and you're not spending it all. So we're going to put into this investment account so that money can get to work. Give that money some chores. Go sweep downstairs or something like that. Like, you don't have to be too far away.
It's some money in my life right now that's not doing chores, and that's the part that I am sliding under the table about.
Money living rent free.
Money living rent free.
Mama, what we having for dinner?
Because I think it's safe. Like sometimes you think it's just safer, just like to keep your money so you don't have to worry about losing it. Like with the bank, what was it? The Silicon Valley Bank? What was that bank?
Silicon Valley Bank.
Yeah. Okay, I was right. So when that failed and Biden said your money is insured, but your investments aren't.
They're insured by something else.
Oh, so that's not saying that you just gonna lose your investments.
It depends.
Okay. It depends on the investments you
make.
make.
That's the best way to answer that. Now, I can dive into it, but unless we're talking about people with liquid net worth from $500,000 to $1 million, you let me know.
Don't do that.
Listen, I feel judged right now.
Don't do that.
I'm just saying. Like it's something that you don't have to worry about until you're playing in that field, because it's kind of like more money, more problems. Those are some problems with more money. So we can dive into those problems, but let's wait until we get the more money and then we can dive into it.
Because I'm on my way. I'm about to be in that conversation.
No doubt. And we'll dive into those problems when you want.
I mean, because apparently there's some money that's not doing chores in my life.
Yeah, put the money to work. Got to put the money to work.
So
like you said before about the bank account, we got very used to just seeing money grow in our bank account. And honestly, that's a new generational thing. Before this generation, they were afraid to use banks. They would just see their money grow in their jar or in their mattress or buried outside. Before that generation, that was the Great Depression generation where we lost so much. Black people lost so much. And it wasn't even because financial crisis, it's because literally being robbed and cheated out of money from banks, from bankers, from all types of deals. So we have generational trauma when it comes to our relationship with money. And we just got now to the point of being okay with looking on our phone and seeing it in our bank account. Before then, you probably had like my mother's generation of them. They were like, oh, online? Nah, I need to see the statement. I need to go in. Like, can I go to your vault and count it sometimes? Like things like that. That was just because we came out of a trauma era. We were treated bad. And because of that, we had developed these defensive mechanisms and got afraid of using the certain systems that are in place. Now, so many fail safes are in place to prevent something from that happening again. We just have to work our way past that. But for all of us at the point of like, I like seeing my money in my bank and see when they just grow in my bank and it's there, it's in my bank. We're not taking any risk, and that is the biggest risk.
That is the biggest risk. I did notice that you were recognized by Ally Bank a few years ago for 30?
That was a different field. So
it was.
My story real quick. When I graduated, I came to work down in the family business. Our family business is franchise dealerships.
Yes.
So we have franchise dealerships all throughout Georgia or whatnot. We were one of the largest Black employers in the state. And I was working through that because I wanted to figure out what the family business was. So I was doing everything from change of oil to, the parts department, service department, every last bit of it I was doing. And it got to a point where I started managing some of the stores, and I got honored because I was so young doing it. Yes. And I was making those stores run some numbers and things like that. So that was a 40 under 40 for Ally Bank, just because Ally Bank is one of the biggest financees for automobiles. So I've been in the finance industry for a very, very long time, just in different subsets of it.
Well, how old are you?
32.
32.
Shut up! Oh my God!
And that's why I really felt it was beneficial for him to bring the message, because it's not about how long. Sometimes people can see things and kind of correct. It's not the messenger, it's the information. Mm-hmm. And the information was just really good. Like when he was talking about different levels of goals. Like I have studied that post on your page so many times. Like, what do I want to do 10 to 15 years? Like, what do I want to do next 5 years? Like, what we just said, we year to year with this. Like, I started in January and then we go to December.
You're the operator of your life. You know, when you're the operator, you are like the business owner of all your life decisions and everything that you do. However, you're making money, whether you're working a corporate job and also working a side gig, or doing this over there, you are the CEO of your life. You have to be year to year. Shoot, CEOs have to be quarter to quarter, so they have to think in that short term. That's why there's a whole industry of people like me that help you take portions of what you make so that it fulfills goals that you have in your 5-year and your 10-year and in your long-term goal. I don't want you just being able to make a lot of money and churn a lot of money. I know so many people who are making close to $900,000 a year, and they were blowing through $850 of it in a year. And it's like, that was there. And it's like, next year, I'm going to go make it again. Got to a point where you stop making it. At some point in time, for whatever reason, you stop making it. There could have been a big old nest egg if you broke off portions of your earnings on a regular basis, just based off a simple 10 to 15% of your earnings, your income that you get from any other business or anything, because that's about on par to what people do in their 401k and stuff like that. Take that and set it to the side. Put in something that grows long term, that's going to build some value, that's going to actually have some cash value, all those different things. So
I had brought up Ally a minute ago because they had a seminar, and it was called Money, Power, Respect. And basically, it kind of made people break down their financial stories to find out what traumas are causing them to act the way they do with money. And they gave us the quiz. Remember, they gave us the quiz.
Oh, that's what you had me take.
So we did the quiz, and we were like money observant. Like, we could see it. Like, we're not hoarding it, but we want to see it.
I want to see it. So I can spend it.
Yeah. So I think when you said that the community has been traumatized in so many different areas in relations to financial institutions and the things that happen, I think we really need to do the work. Everyone, I understand mental health is needed. We need to dig into that and find out what triggers we have. But this financial trauma is serious as well, because
very much so.
It's little things like you and when you were a child, you couldn't afford new clothes or something. So now you spend your life just buying clothes because at some point in your life you couldn't have clothes.
And I never thought about things as financial trauma. That's new to me.
Yeah,
I just think
it's very, very real, especially with the emergence of African Americans gaining money. Like, it started in the 90s. It was all of a sudden Jordan era started just blowing up from there. Certain type of people in tech and things like that, getting those type of wins, and so on and so forth. And it just grown. African Americans, artists, hip hop artists, actually getting paid, instead of just being underneath, a Jewish manager's thumb and stuff like that. Starting to get their royalties and their ownership and living these lavish lifestyles. All of that lavish stuff is really fighting their own trauma within them. And that's why a lot of them, it doesn't make them happy. It actually makes it feel worse, because you're just poking at your trauma. Yep. It's like, I have this hole in my life. I need another car.
Yes. And it's not feeling it.
I need to throw off my car. You ain't stop. Why you need to do those things? Why? Actually, why? Because what you could do is you could build that money up, and you can let that actually be like a foundation for like a school or something like that. But we haven't gotten to that point yet. I'm just now seeing it. I'm just now feeling it. It's only been like maybe 15 years of me actually feeling like this. Not me being born into it, not me being third generation, I don't know. Give me an old Goldberg. I feel like there's rich Goldbergs out there. So like that. Like, it's like, oh, I'm not just used to this stuff, but it's important for us to figure that out, get through it. Don't just like, what's going to happen. You're going to get that new money. You're going to go do some dumb stuff with it. That's just going to happen. We're not going to fight you on that one. Just get through it. Just don't sit in the dumb stuff.
Okay.
That's it.
Some people are afraid to start putting the max and making sure they have additional nest eggs for when they retire. So let's say most of our audience.
I'm just going to touch on that. It's going to be literally impossible for you to save yourself to a big enough nest egg. Impossible. Let's put it like this. You save $20,000 a year for 10 years, 20 years. That's $400,000. $20,000 is not a small bit of change. $400,000 is not going to allow you to live for the rest of your life. That's how much money you will have, saving $20,000 a year for 20 years.
That do make sense.
It's not gonna be enough.
So we got to start
use the markets. We just got to use the markets.
We do. Okay, so what do you? Because I know you have to contend with people being hesitant to invest with a Black investor. How, and then with you being young, do you have those issues?
No.
Okay.
I like it. He said, no.
I'm smart and I got
this. Yes, I love it.
I'm sorry if you missed the train, but like, I mean, if you were not at that point, or if you want someone different, or for whatever reason, I don't dwell on it. I don't know what your reason is, but I know that what I told you is right. So if you do it with somebody else, cool. But let's do something.
I do, yeah.
I like that. I'm smart, so I don't have those issues. So run me my money.
So
because,
I have
in all honesty, like, you know, I like to throw a little arrogance out there, because like when it comes down to it, I actually do sit down and study this on a daily basis. I passed every exam that every investment banker in New York has to take in the first try. I did it within about 3 months. Like, I dove into this full-fledged body, mind, soul. So don't get me preaching. I'm starting to sound like a congressman.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Sound like a brother. So
if you come here with Jones and Co-Finance, I'll take care of you.
I love this. This is so exciting.
Yeah, and like when he said, he was like, to be a financial advisor, it takes passion, because you have to be passionate about, you know, other people's. It's not just your money. It's about somebody else succeeding.
Exactly. You have to care. Well, not only you have to care, but you have to have the personality that celebrates other people's wins. That's a big thing right there, because I love it when a client comes to me like, hey, some clients call me EJ. They're like, hey, EJ, just sold a property. I got 180K. I'm like, my God, let's talk about it. Like, I'm clearing my schedule tomorrow. Like, let's sit down and talk about that 180K, my man. Like, you did that thing. I know you told me about it last week or like last month, but now here we are. Look at the bread. Hey, these are some plans that we can do based on some of the goals that you talked about last time we met. And this is where we should get started, and then go on a nice vacation. Go treat yourself. Have a good time. And we'll circle back later and stuff like that. Like, I get so excited about doing that for other people and watching those wins. It invigorates me. So that's dope to me. And that's the type of spirit that a financial advisor has to have.
That is nice. We need more professionals such as yourself out here in the world to guide us, because I feel like sometimes the information isn't as clear. It isn't as clear, you know, and when you receive a lot of information, like we were taking notes, but when you receive a lot of information, you have to digest it, and you have to be like, is this something that you're ready for? Because you mentally have to be ready for a financial journey. You do. You have to be ready. And just a little bit about myself. At the beginning of the pandemic, I lost my car to an auto accident, and I called my dealer. I called my dealer and said, hey, I want another one. And she was like, okay, come on, you can come on in to the dealership. And I was like, but where am I going? I kept saying, where am I going? And then I looked in the bank. Now I'm gonna start calling you EJ. I looked in the bank and I said, where does extra money come from?
Because you're not paying.
And I said, oh, you don't have that car note and car insurance no more. This is my 3rd year without a car. I ain't going back.
I don't know how she. I ain't going to trooper for it, because I just feel like I need to just be able to get up and go.
And what I would have recommended on that one is that money goes into an investment account.
See, and I didn't. What I did, I just went and was like, woo, woo.
Let me tell you this: when you finish sliding underneath the table, come up for air, and then, you know, just hit me up back in them DMs.
Okay.
Get that straightened out.
Okay.
And I guess I didn't think about it. So I just went, a friend put on like a streaming service on my computer. All I needed was the internet. It's like $25 a month. So I was able to cancel this $260 cable bill. And I guess I could look into investing this cable bill like that I'm saving. I never thought about that.
All of them, all of them. And if you saw the power of just investing small bits of money the same way you pay for subscriptions and stuff like that over the course of years, it won't be no chump change when you look up in the future.
See, and I'm trying to look up in the future.
Right. So, EJ, we will be contacting you. So, what we need you to do so we can help you help us. You need to tell people about some She's Press Nails so I have more to invest and about Shake and Enjoy books. So you can help us make money so we can our money and give you money.
No doubt. I'll check them out.
I need the Atlanta market. Okay. let's go to the audience. So it says, Emmanuel, and I read this, it was above my head. For accredited investors, is it possible for most advisors to generate alpha by moving their clients away from low-cost index funds and allocating into alternative investments even after considering fees?
That really just depends. If you want it, so generating alpha basically means having some investments that perform differently than other type of investments.
Okay.
So if you're index funds and index funds are going this direction and they're going up, that's great. And you might want to invest in something that's completely different than an index fund, something that's going some other direction, maybe something that's based off recessionary type things, such as like liquor stores. Investing in liquor stores goes up when the stock market goes down because people drink more and stuff like that. So that will generate a strong juxtaposition between the two, but it's not an and or. It's not a or. It's an and. So if you want to generate like diversification amongst different assets, then yeah, you can do alternative investments. And the fees, it just depends on how you're going to be investing it. You're going to have to go to a money market fund or a mutual fund or some type of mutual fund to actually control that different part of the market that you want to invest in to make it different than just investing in index funds. So yeah, the fees are worth it because I charge fees, so I know they're worth it. But the fees are worth it to just have that differentiation in your whole portfolio. But if you're just starting out investing, then it kind of depends if an index fund is good for you or not. And I'll tell you why, because index funds are good, like an S&P 500 index fund. That's 500 of the largest companies in the United States. A lot of people that I see on like Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, stuff like that, who try to give financial advice. First of all, beware of that. There's a site called brokercheck.org, I believe. Brokercheck.org. It's a site that's actually managed by the United States government and FINRA. Any financial advisor and someone giving financial advice has to be registered underneath that. So you can basically put in their name and see them in their credentials and all that stuff come up. If you don't see them in there, they should not be giving financial advice, or they can't be held accountable for the wrong advice that they give. So they can come in and say, hey, do that. In fact, cash at me $1,000. I'll do it for you. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. They're going to get arrested eventually. The IRS, United States government, infinite memory. They'll arrest you at 57 for something you did at 27. Like, hey, we saw you on Instagram, especially if you start getting big enough when you're influencing masses and things like that to invest in something that's fraudulent, they're coming for you. So a lot of these influencers that you see with millions of followers are talking about invest in this and invest for that. There's a case being built against them to basically indict them, which is very sad because they need to just go get registered so they can talk about it on the platform after they do the work. Because otherwise you're just talking off of the last 10 years of, everything going up and you think you know what you're talking about. And you think you're giving advice to people that's prudent, but like it's not good advice for everybody.
Right.
My grandma should not be in index funds at all. That's crazy for her to be in any index funds. That is not the golden place to invest money. A 20-year-old should not be investing in treasury notes, or a 30-year-old probably doesn't need to be investing in treasury notes, at least not with a big part of their income or anything like that. So it's just different ways that I know how to structure what you should be investing in, when that I can stand behind because I'm actually trained in this.
Man, I'm just here to let you know I'm hearing everything you saying, but you still got me stuck after I should have called you after I stopped spending that $1,100 on that car note and car insurance.
A month? $1,100?
Strong car note right there. That's a strong car note right there. But yeah,
the car note and the insurance.
Because you were staying in Detroit. So your insurance was high as it. Was your insurance more than your car note?
No, not even.
What kind of car was it?
A Cadillac CTS.
There we go. Okay.
Girl, oh, $1,100. I was
That makes me kind of happy. That's like real Detroit right there. Like that's real
Listen,
Detroit.
I was ready.
You know, like our first dealership was a Ford dealership. Yeah,
Okay.
Found in Detroit. So Ford, like when I started in the working, they would like take me to Detroit to like go through some training and stuff like that. I'll stay at the MGM, the big MGM in Detroit. Stay there. I'll talk to the shoe shine guy for like 30 minutes or whatnot. He tell me the history of Detroit. And, hey man, you tell you what this used to be back in the day. Like we used to go and junk slide. I was like, okay, all right, cool. But yeah, Cadillac, that's just so that's it. That's real Detroit.
It was a thing. It was a thing. It was a thing.
Are you through? But we're done with that part, right?
We're done. We're done. We're done.
I think everybody go. I think a lot of people go through that little phase of spending a lot of money on a car note just because like I need to feel that. And then I need to feel that it doesn't fulfill anything. So that I need to figure out.
I just needed it. It had all the bells and whistles that I wanted, and
yeah.
Okay, my last question is from Albie because he just put up, don't forget my question. So it says, what are some emerging fields that lack Black representation that can be monetarily beneficial to invest in?
I'm a little confused. Black fields that lack Black representation for you to invest in a person to go into that field? I guess he can't.
Or industries. Are you speaking of industries,
I'm
Al?
confused by that. Well, the financial service industry right here. If you Google financial advisor in Atlanta, which I have several times, you're going to scroll down a big old page of a lot of white faces, a whole bunch of white faces. And it's probably the case in many metros. So my firm just getting started is going to take a while to show up, but is going to be definitely tagged as a Black financial advisory firm. And I'll be playing in the field with these big boys and whatnot. Like we are going to be one of the largest financial advisory firms in the country. Like that's what's going to happen. And that's how we're going to go.
And people, don't forget, when you go in to do your Google searches, you can hit the filters. Say you want small business. Say you want a minority business. Hit the fields. Hit the fields. It helps. Hit the fields.
Wow, this is exciting. Thank you, Kenyatta. She said she can't wait to be done. Ramal said, thank you for answering his question. I thought that, and Courtney said, great information. Okay, one last question from Kenyatta. How do you feel about investing in commodities such as energy companies?
They're good defensive investments. If you want to buy some energy companies or commodity companies, like they tend to kind of go against like the big fluctuations of stock markets. So they're in a different sector, I guess you could say, than that. But like there's some energy companies and commodity companies within just the S&P 500 index fund. Like I said, like when it comes down to it, it just depends on how much money we're talking about. Because up to a certain point, and I would say maybe $250,000, up to about $250,000, like there's not many different places you need to be dumping money to be invested. You set that money with a money manager, which I do through my firm all the time. And that money manager manages like the portfolio for the maximum return based off your risk level. So that's all you should really do at that point. When you start dealing with like $500,000 to $1 million of like liquid cash to invest and move around, then we can talk about diversified strategies and like where we want to hedge here or there.
She said, yeah, I've tripled my investment, but nervous about cashing out right now.
Take your wins and keep it pushing.
You said who?
Take your wins and keep it pushing.
Take your wins and keep it pushing. Share some with the perfect pair. Kenyatta, support Black business. So we are going to say thank you so much, Emmanuel. You have been like so awesome.
Yes.
You have given us a wealth of information.
To think about.
It makes me excited that you're a young Black male doing your thing in this business, like
in this industry.
And but you to say, because I'm smart, like I got it. I just love that. So continue to represent yourself. And why be humble? Why? You work too hard to get where you are. So
big facts. They got a lot more work to do and go moving forward, but I appreciate you ladies bringing me on board. I appreciate all the questions. The chance to talk about this, I'll take it anytime, even in the middle of the day on a Sunday after church. So like, I love it. This is my topic. Anybody can feel free. My website, she just showed it. You can go there.
Social. Let me give you.
You can schedule an introductory time to talk to me. My calendar is on there. Like all my information is on there. I'm always open to talk about this topic, whether we're talking to do business or you're just curious about some answers and stuff like that. It's never a waste of my time. So please reach out at any point.
So I put up his website so you all can go on there. Do you want us to?
They can follow my IG too, you know.
Okay, hold on. Let me put that up there. Hold on. Okay, what is it?
It's Mr. Jones.
MR?
Finance. Yep.
Mr. Jones Finance.
No space.
Oh, why I put a space between Mr. and Jones? I need to. Okay, Mr. Jones Finance.
Yep.
And this is IG.
Yep.
IG. Anything else? Any other social, or we just go to that one?
That's it.
Okay, so his IG is Mr. Jones
on
Finance.
the screen right now. Follow him. Go through some of the older posts right now. Because you'll find that one that has me stumped with the three. It's got three swipes. The right now goals, the middle goals, and the long term goals. I got
make sure you put it in after the A on finance.
Dang, I can't even spell. Don't tell nobody.
Sorry to cut you off there.
It's these drinks. I knew it looked short. It wasn't.
So yeah, make sure you go through and just let's be more mindful about what we do with our money and how we do it. And right now, I got money that's not doing chores, so they about to get some assignments.
I'll be looking forward to our talk.
Yes, I'm going to be calling you.
So please stay on hold. I'll put you in the waiting room, Emmanuel, but don't hang up, okay?
Okay.
All right. So thank you all for tuning in to The Perfect Pair. This was very informative.
I hope you all got some good information.
Thanks for finding him, Marty. Like, he was really good.
Listen, really good. We needed this.
We did, because I'm about to start investing. I'm about to get life insurance.
I can't keep running through here every 12 months like some.
Who am I going to make my beneficiary? Let me think about that.
I don't want to say because it be on the air, but I got a good idea who it's gonna be.
You can make me yours if you want. I can split it with your son.
Little baby will have a whole.
Give me like 30%.
He's excited about all the life insurance I got right now. I just hope I don't get knocked off.
But no, we thank you all for tuning in to another segment of The Perfect Pair with Tangerine and Marty. We will be back next week.
Yes.
For another hot topic. And remember, if at any time you have a topic or you want to be a guest on The Perfect Pair, feel free to email us at The Perfect Pair. No, that wasn't it. That's not our email. Our email is theperfectpair21@gmail.com. I was about to read our YouTube.
Oh.
Please share this stream. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube, please do. I'm tongue-tied. I left my retainer in, and for some reason it messes up my thoughts.
How did you manage to do that?
Because I remembered it was in, but I didn't want to take it all on live.
You
and I didn't have any tissue. And
complete gem, you know that.
And I'm not supposed to be drinking with it, so I left it in and by accident. So I just had to keep it moving. This is what happens when you laugh. You just got to roll with the punches.
All right, then.
Thank you all, and have a beautiful
until next time.
Bye. See you later. Oh wait, I forgot to do. See, we need to get engineer again because I can't be remembering
what you can't
when to
remember.
Post the outro. Because I was running my mouth. Okay, so let's say goodbye, everyone.
Bye, y'all.